Yep, this is finally get to put this idea into practice now because we have both Battleground and Double or Nothing the same weekend, hell, on the same day, no less. We're splitting it up for a change because WrestleMania went 2 nights, so we are going to do the same here. And we're starting with Battleground first. And yeah, emanating from Tampa at the Youngling Center, which, by the way, the post Battleground NXT is not going to be happening there, so oops. Well, in any case, here, it's still going to happen, the event, regardless. This is actually going to be the first Battleground to air on Netflix internationally. And we've got other world history in the making thanks to the TNA partnership, but we'll go ahead and get to that in a moment. And I want to mention this is the second time that this has happened, by the way, that Battleground and Double or Nothing have competed on the same day, with the 2023 edition also going head to head with Double or Nothing as well that same damn day. Even though, again, they were in completely two opposite ends of the freaking country here. With this year's
And
Battleground in Florida, and well, this year's Double or Nothing will be in Arizona. So, with that, there's not much more to say here, basically. And apparently, according to Shawn Michaels, back in 2023, the scheduling was not intended to go head to head with AEW, but it was just due to the holiday. As he always said, WWE events have always done well on holidays. I'm guessing because people have nothing to do on some of these days, and if they aren't going to stay in, they're going out somewhere. But not to the movies for some reason. You be the
nah, they're
judge.
deporting themselves to another country.
Stop
All
it. Anyways, I'm Coffee
right.
Lover 239. We've got the guy who misses when John Moxley didn't suck,
Yep.
Steven Diener, and our resident jokester Quai Jam.
As you could audibly hear there, it took Coffee a few seconds to remember who the heck we are. So,
Hey, 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 it's been a little bit here. I've been.
a little bit.
Oh, whatever. Hold on, I'm gonna put Jesse's predictions down here once again. If I could
And
just.
make sure they're in a really incredibly acute font that you would see on a Nickelodeon show from the 1980s.
Oh,
Oh my god,
stop it.
Clyde.
Anybody remember Brain Games on HBO? Any Generation X listeners
Nah,
here, huh? No?
I think you're straight. I think you're reaching far off with
Today's
that one
special on
here.
Nickelodeon about the mannequin that came to life,
Let's just
sounded like coffee.
let's just focus on these damn matches here, starting with.
It's kind of hard to focus on a monopoly without any money at play, but
Don't
let's continue.
don't interrupt the transition music.
Transition.
This is Obafemi versus Miles Bourne for the NXT Championship. So, following Obafemi's successful NXT Championship defense at Stand and Deliver, a battle royal was scheduled for the May 6th episode of NXT to determine the number one contender for the title at Battleground, and the match was won by Miles Bourne. There's not much more to say, and I have a feeling we all know where this is going, but I have to run through everyone because you know how we do it. Diener?
I go with Oba.
Alright, and that's what Jesse says as well. What say you, Quai Jam?
Oh, this is literally one. Here's the thing about NXT pay-per-views, at least in the last 2 years, their booking is like one-sided. It's always one-sided, and oh my god, it's like why this is just the beginning of them feeding guys to Oba that are just absolutely terrible, absolutely have no ring presence, and absolutely didn't learn anything. For 2 to 4 years, they have been in the WWE self-detrimental system of developmental.
Hell.
Thank you, googly eyes, Shawn Michaels, for that one. And this is just a one-sided match, so you can't pick the new guy. You got to go with Obafemi to retain, as always. This is a Braun Breaker situation.
Right, duly noted. Yeah, I don't even think this is a. Yeah, I don't even think there's any
This is an
arguments in
exhibition,
this
dude. This isn't
one.
even a match. This is an exhibition.
Yeah, I'm going with Obafemi on this one. They clearly have a lot of faith in him, so why stop now? Next, Stephanie Vaquer versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. At Stand and Deliver, Stephanie Vaquer retained the NXT Women's Championship in a fatal four-way match involving Jordan, Grace, and Julia. Hmm, I could have sworn there was somebody else in that match, but they refused to tell us, and that was Jada Parker. That's who actually. And let's see. So, on the April 22nd episode of NXT, after Vakur won her match, she was confronted by Grace and Julia. After Grace's team defeated Julia's team in a tag team match the following weeks, NXT General Manager Ava scheduled a match between Grace and Julia on the May 6th episode, where the winner would face Vakur for the title at Battleground, and the match was won by Grace. So yeah, this is gonna be this probably could be actually a better match than some people would expect, because we've got Vakur, we've got Jordan Grace, who is probably one of the best women's wrestlers working today. Vakur, I mean, whew, oh mama, oh, and she's very good in the ring too, all things considered. So, yeah, this should be a very, very good match. Diener,
Go with Stephanie Vaquero.
all right. Jesse actually says no contest. That either Jada Parker will interfere, or, and this last one is a complete wild shot in the dark here. So please, I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot me. He says Mariah may debut to interfere, and
Bang bang,
yeah,
bang bang bang,
I
bang bang.
said don't shoot. Do people just not follow directions?
Oh, hey, I just said bang.
Well, now it's your turn to speak, Kwai Jam.
If Valcor might as well change her name to a liquor, because that's what I'm going to have to drink whenever I watch her wrestle. Because, for goodness sakes, every time she does that cute little leg scissor thing, holding the woman's head and bounces it into the pad, I have to sit there and listen to what Booker T probably says, Bobby exclaims in private with his wife, Charmel, when they decide to get intimate.
Oh, God.
You know, the yeah. Anyway, I die. Yet again, more one-sided booking here. One-sided match. Vakur retains.
Hey, if anything, Vakur's the only one who can even actually keep Booker T awake these days. Seriously, Booker T's been falling asleep more than my grandma does.
You actually watch your grandma sleep? I used to do that.
I don't. No, I don't here. I do not. Shut
That's funny,
up.
That's actually funny.
I told you I'm funny.
Oh, both of you stop it. Both of you shut up right now.
Okay.
Seriously, Stephanie Vakur is gonna retain. As much as I think Jordan Grace is pegged for a reign, we're not there yet. So Stephanie. Next. Oh, damn it. Hold on. Next. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the history-making moment I was talking about. For the first time on a WWE ring, in a WWE event, in a ring, within this company, the TNA World Championship is going to be defended. Joe Hendry versus Trick Williams for the TNA World Championship.
I can't believe this is actually a thing. Of all the matches to cross-promote that they booked in NXT from another promotion, I never thought I would see this.
Trick Williams is fine, and well...
I know, but I never thought I'd see this.
Well,
them take that title.
Well, I guess hell is frozen over finally, huh?
Well, it's been frozen over, dude. It's called climate change.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
you are not the best in the world.
Okay, here it is. On the April 22nd episode of NXT, TNA World Champion Joe Hendry interrupted NXT Champion Oba Femi and Trick Williams trying to stake a claim to Femi's title. But Williams took exception to Hendry's comments and mocked him for his quick defeat against Randy Orton at WrestleMania 41. Need I remind you that match shouldn't have even happened. We all know what was going to happen, but completely and utterly fell apart because Kevin Owens' unfortunate neck injuries. So, on a side note, we hope he gets well soon, and yeah. Stating he was first in line for the title, while telling Hendry he didn't belong in NXT. So Hendry fired back at Williams' constant complaining before going eye to eye with Femi. Williams tried to intervene, but was quickly dispatched by the two champions. Then at TNA Rebellion 5 days later, Williams ambushed Hendry after his successful title defense to close the show. On the next episode of NXT, Hendry appeared and called out Williams, but was instead attacked by Dark State, Dion Lennox, Saquon Sugars, Cutler James, and Osiris Griffin. Ugh. Williams eventually appeared later, disregarding Hendry as a viable threat and star. 2 days later on Impact, Hendry again called out Williams, but was met with a supposed satellite feed from the latter, who said he was preparing for a battle royale on next week's NXT to determine Femi's next challenger. In the main event, Williams attacked Hendry during his six-man tag team match, which cost Hendry's team the match. Williams laid out Hendry after the match. It was subsequently announced that Hendry and Elijah, the former Elias, whom Hendry formed an alliance, would face Williams in a tag team match 2 days before Battleground at TNA Under Siege, marking Williams' TNA in-ring debut. On the next episode of NXT, Williams once again interfered in Hendry's six-man tag team match against Dark State, again costing Hendry the match. I think he's missing the point about Dark State, but whatever. Later that night, Hendry interfered in the Battle Royal, allowing Elijah to eliminate Williams. NXT General Manager Ava subsequently announced that after speaking with TNA Director of Authority Santino Marella, Hendry would defend his title against Williams at Battleground, marking the first time the TNA World Championship would be defended in a WWE ring. And I think I've said all I've needed to here because, yeah, that first fact alone, I could have just said TNA World Championship defended on WWE and stop right there, but there you go. So, Diener, you're up.
I got Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Clap, clap. Oh, I did once. It was time.
No, I clapped there when you did it, but
No, I just wait. I just can't believe I'm actually listening to Dean do the clap. That's
you gotta
incredible.
follow the rhythm, man. All right, but that's what later.
The clap.
Jesse
Okay.
actually is going with Trick Williams and being bold. Let's see what Jam has to say.
This is just a cheap. They're taking this TNA world title and they're just knocking it off. You know, there used to be. Remember when the lower belts like the cruiserweight title and the hardcore title were all these knockoff titles that just put on everybody. Like remember during the Invasion angle when they put the ECW World Heavyweight title on everybody from the Big Show all the way as far as both members of the Dudley Boys. Remember this? They give them a little prestige by having them hold a title that absolutely doesn't mean anything except for the niche wrestling fans. You know what I mean? It's like if AEW had put the international title on Marco Stunt. You know what I mean? It's something like that.
God.
That's what they're doing here with this TNA World title. They're not making it. They're not doing a presentation like it's an equalized ground with the NXT World title. Okay. They're knocking it off. They're delineating the value of that belt. And I hate to say it, but the most WWE thing that they can do here, which I probably am in my self-agreement of them doing, I hate to say this, but they're going to take that title off Go Hendry and they're going to put it on Trick Williams so at least he can have a title, not even in their own company. So, Trick Williams, I hate to say it.
Yeah, I don't think that's very wise. I mean, Hendry's already lost to Randy Orton in a very quick fashion. And again, I know that wasn't supposed to happen. And I heard there were some people who
Dude, this is the Miro treatment. This is the Miro treatment in NXT.
Yeah, and
this is the Miro treatment.
This is not a good idea here. So, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Joe Coffey.
To retain the title. Oh, you ruined
Joe Coffey, I love that guy.
No. But I believe in Joe Hendry to retain. There we go. Now, next. Tony D'Angelo versus Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Prior to Stand and Deliver, the D'Angelo family, Tony D, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, Lucia Crucifino, and Adriana Rizzo, had been feuding with Dark State. I already said their names, so let's move on. On the April 8th episode of NXT, Lorenzo challenged Dark State to meet him in the parking lot the following week, unbeknownst to D'Angelo, where he and Crucifino engaged in a vicious brawl with Dark State, who got the upper hand until D'Angelo arrived to even the odds. D'Angelo confronted Lorenzo for not consulting him about this plan, and this led to a six-man tag team match at Stand and Deliver, and Lorenzo turned on Tony D, turning heel in the process and costing the D'Angelo family the match. Over the following weeks, Crucifino disappeared while Rizzo went into hiding at a safe house per D'Angelo's request. On the April 29th episode, D'Angelo stated Lorenzo's impulsivity put the group in danger and vowed to get revenge. Lorenzo responded via satellite and stated that D'Angelo had grown soft and was no longer capable of leading the group. On the May 13th episode, D'Angelo competed against Wesley, where Lorenzo appeared via satellite from the outside of Rizzo's safe house, distracting D'Angelo long enough to cost him the match. Later that night, D'Angelo arrived at the safe house only to be ambushed by Lorenzo, who stated that he would end D'Angelo at Battleground with a match between the two scheduled for the event. You think that it would make this a street fight or something to really reflect this, but no, I guess we're going to drag it out and eventually get to that point as the blow-off match. Oh well, what are you going to do? It is what it is. I really don't have a lot of stake in this right now here, or any real, but the D'Angelo families and this whole feuding and fighting, I'm like, what? I just, bleh. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add. Dean?
Nope.
Well, who you gonna pick? You gotta pick someone.
I thought we were talking about the other thing. I thought
Look,
you were talking about that one.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Stacks. I gotta go with Stacks on this one.
Right.
I believe we're picking a guy named Stacks.
Oh, that's just his nickname.
This is
Meanwhile,
pathetic.
Jesse's saying Tony D, and not only that, but that they'll get back together afterwards. All right, Kwai Jam.
Wait,
Enlighten
Coffee.
us.
To be completely brutally honest with you, if you really just looked at this whole storyline, I'm surprised you didn't break out at laughter every time you said their absolutely convolutingly very offensive Italian names like Tamaguchi and Buddha, and Lajana Luigi and yeah, Mario, and then might as well have a dude in there named Mario who just shows up for 5 minutes with a mustache. No, his name was Mario. Have you ever seen in 1988?
No, I know what
the
you're
Mario
referencing.
Brothers movie?
Yeah, I know what you're referencing, but I forget the other.
It's Mario.
And not just that, Mario
So,
and
but
Luigi
I have.
Mario.
Let's be completely honest. I'm just going to go with the leader to win this match because I sincerely don't care, and I have more fun saying these people's names with a bad mock Italian accent than actually watching a wrestling match. Hey, look at me! This is Tony D'Angelo. Hey, where are my meatballs? Hey, and then I start gesturing like a really hyperactive Jewish financial advisor with a billionaire or something. But anyway, yeah, Tony D. No question. Silliest storyline of the year in this bloody thing you want to call developmental NXT.
I'm going with Tony D'Angelo as well.
Now, see how.
Sol Ruca versus Kalani Jordan for the NXT Women's North American Championship. So at Stand and Deliver, Sol Ruca won a ladder match also involving Kalani Jordan and Ruca's tag team partner, Zarya, to win the vacant NXT Women's North American Championship. On the April 29th episode of NXT, Jordan mocked Ruca and Zarya, stating that when she was champion, she defended the title every week. Ruka was about to agree to defend her title, but Zarya interrupted, saying that Jordan would have to face her first. A match between Jordan and Zarya took place on the next episode, where Zarya won. On the next episode, Kalani challenged Zarya for a rematch, saying that if she wins, she would challenge for Ruka's title at Battleground. Ruka agreed, and the match took place on the next episode, where Jordan defeated Zarya. So here we are. Probably the weaker of the two women's matches, but I think at the end of the day, it should still be an alright match. I don't know. If I look at this and I have to say which one I'm
The names, their names are so silly that nobody knows them. It just proves my point about how this women's division is better booked by ChatGPT than poor Scott D'Amore. Given these damaged goods of a freaking developmental, man.
At the end of the day, this is where it stands right now, so we have to deal with it. All right, Dean, who you got?
Just pick the most silly name and go with it.
Sol
Ruca, huh? Well, Jesse's going with Kalani Jordan, so what say you, Kwai Jam?
I go with Kalanic Jordan. That's what this whole discussion of this match feels like. It feels like a very bad colonic. And the women's division, like I said, ChatGPT would do a better job booking this than poor Scott D'Amore.
I'm going with Sol Ruca. I don't really, not too invested here.
So let's go to
the last one. I hope you like six-man schmazes, because we've got one here.
Yes, this has been literally every main event on AEW for the last 6 weeks. But
And
yeah, go ahead.
and you wonder why the ratings keep sinking lower and lower over there. In any case, but we'll get to that soon enough, believe me. Alright, but for now, Hank and Tank, Hank Walker and Tank Ledger, and Josh Briggs versus the Coley, Brooks Jensen, Nico Vance, and Sean Spears. So, on the May 6th episode of NXT, Pro Wrestling Noah's Yoshiki Inamura announced that he would be heading back to his native Japan, effectively ending his partnership with Josh Briggs after months of dissension between the two. The following week, Briggs reflected on how he felt guilty as if he pushed Inamura away, but he was comforted, not confronted, comforted by NXT Tag Team Champions Hank and Tank. The culling leader, Sean Spears, interrupted, saying Briggs has a pattern of pushing people away, including his former tag team partner, Brooks Jensen, a member of the culling. This led to a match between the two on the next episode, where Spears defeated Briggs after interference from the rest of the culling: Jensen, Nico Vance, and Izzy Dame. After the match, Briggs attacked Spears, but was attacked by the culling before Walker and Ledger came out to even the odds. Later that night, it was announced that Briggs, Walker, and Ledger would face Spears, Jensen, and Vance in a six-man tag team match at Battleground. Wait, did I say that other one was the one I was least interested in? Nah, it's this one right here. I don't have anything more to add, so Dina?
I
Dina?
really don't. I really don't know who to win on this one. It's Hank and Tank, I guess. I don't know.
There you go. Just go with Hank and Tank and Briggs. Yeah. And Jesse says the culling, so Kwai Jam. Now we get to hear.
Yeah, you might as well just call them GI midcard. You might as well just call him that because Briggs is on his third chance, and Hank and Tank are nothing but 2.0 all over again, but more meaty on the outrunner side. Okay, am I wrong? Come on, that's what Hank and Tank are. They just a goofy tag team that is then indicative of every other tag team out of NXT that WWE promotes. But I dijack. I'm gonna go with GI. Going to be released in about 3 months' time.
In any case, I'm gonna go with Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs. And with that,
Shake and bake.
And with that, let's close it out. Okay, that actually went better. You see, this is what happens when we split it up. We can give more time proper, and everything just flows better. See, don't you feel better having split it up?
No, I don't feel better about divorces, but okay.
This is not a divorce. This is
okay.
Up the work into pieces.
If that's what the lawyer says, that's what the lawyer says.
Hey, there is no lawyers in this. This is me splitting it up here.
Okay.
So we have more energy for tomorrow, and we get this out of the way.
Even more energy? Really?
We're gonna need it for tomorrow because now that we're done with Battleground, come back tomorrow around this same time where we're gonna dig into Double or Nothing, and oh boy. Oh boy, given what this stupidity this company has put us through from the last event, I may just,
This is the first Double or Nothing in 6 years to have no world title contested. No world title match.
Oh, but believe me, how we're even in this stupid mess is ridiculous. Believe me, I may just let one loose tomorrow after what happened at Dynasty. Because I'm just going to say this right now, just for a frame of reference of how frustrated I am with this company. The finish that happened at last month's pay-per-view in Dynasty left me more pissed off in the end. I think I may have even gotten more pissed off than I was when Cody Rhodes lost at WrestleMania 39. I am not kidding. It is that bad here. And quite frankly, this company, well, AEW's going to need a miracle right now, and that's all I can say about that. So, come back tomorrow around the same time. I'm probably going to tear into this sucker, and until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks for watching. Good night. Please be kind to each other. And pray for my...
Be kind.
Hey,
Remember, be kind.
hey, easy. And pray for my soul. because quite
Yeah.
frankly, I don't think there's enough to get
Yeah,
me
and by the
through
way,
this insanity.
if you use the coupon code hashtag computer chair, you get 50% off of access to Coffee's new
There
OnlyFans
is no
account.
shut up. That is a lie. Okay, you cannot go around promoting something that will never happen. Go fuck yourself for that.
All right.
Coffee loves
Shut.
chair.
And you can shut the hell up, Dean. Both of you. I got Dumb and Dumber. I got Beavis and Butthead. SpongeBob
I
and
thought that was the
Patrick.
nicknames for your eyebrows, but okay.
I'm trying to frickin' reference the Usos when I think they were tearing down Kevin and Sammy, and I swear they were calling them, or someone they were tearing down, and they called them SpongeBob and Patrick. I cannot find that freaking promo for the life of me. I could have sworn this was in the late 2010s.
Yeah, when
Somebody
you're playing
find it for me, please, if nothing else.
No.
Oh, whatever. I didn't ask you specifically to find
Now,
it.
you asked me for a lot of things, and I won't mention what they are.
I don't recall asking you for a lot or anything at all.
That was a joke, Coffee. Let's
stop
wind this
it.
up.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow around the same time, so we'll see you all then.